All right, got people in here. What's going on, everybody? You guys are quick as hell. You guys are very fast. Mike's here. Oh no. Oh no. It's gonna get dangerous tonight. Chris said he was first, but Mike was first. Steve was third. Sam said first. Everybody's lying right now. Everybody's lying. Oh no. Uh oh. We're gonna have some fighting in the chat. No fighting tonight, everybody. No fighting. No fighting. Go Birds. That's right, baby. That's right. Go Birds. Thanks, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. This is going to be a fun blind tonight. I hope you guys are ready for this. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Oh, man. This is going to be a fun one. Yes, Mike, this is for everybody. This is live on the YouTubes for everybody to come and enjoy. I am going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to put this on the Patreon page just so that everybody can come and watch if they haven't seen it yet. So here we go. Create a post, text, no link, actually, a link. As you guys can see, we got a lot of Jack Daniels on this bar top. We're going to be drinking some Jack tonight, seeing just how well this bad boy right here does in a blind. I'm very, very excited for it. We do have a sample of a Jack Daniels single barrel proof Chris Fletcher pick, 130.3 proof in the mix here. This is going to be fun. Give me 1 second here, everybody. We've got... Why is it telling me I don't have a link? I have a link. Whatever. What's going on, everybody? This is going to be a fun one. I'm very, very excited for it. I heard all these people smell funny. I think they do too. Mike, that's always your plan. That is always your plan. Hope one of those blinds is the 50-50 Jack Single Barrel Bourbon and the Jack Single Barrel Rye. No, Mike, it is not. I did not add that into this. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. Thankfully, I'm not 45. Thankfully. Yes, Steve, everybody hit that like button. Much appreciated for that. That's right, Steve. Stay bossy. Thanks, Salty. Much appreciated. We're going to get this blind started in a couple of minutes once more people get in here. Got about 17 people in the chat. Make sure you guys check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are on the giveaway for 10,000 subscribers because I'm excited for that one. It should be a fun little giveaway for some people that hopefully, whether or not they have a bottle of that, but they get all three of them. That's pretty freaking cool. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Mark. Johnny Dean, cheers to you too, buddy. Cheers to you. Oh, man. About 8:10, we'll get this blind started. I'll go through all the bottles that we have on the bar top, and then we'll get to drinking and having some fun tonight. I'm excited for this. Crazy blind to celebrate my 21st. That's right, Sam. That's right. I wish I was 21 again. I wish I was. When I was 21, double fisting in both hands. I had 2 Corona premieres in both hands. I was ready to go on that night. That was a fun one. That was when I was a beer drinker, not a whiskey drinker. But now here we are, 6 years later, 7 years later. Oh God, 28? Yeah, 28. Oh my God, I'm old, but not compared to you guys. You guys are all old farts over there. 808. What do we got in here? We got 26 people. Make sure you guys drop that like. Let's get this going. Let's see how many people we can get in here before we get this started. Cheers to you, Mr. Mom. Cheers, brother. I don't have twins on the way. You guys are all crazy. There's just one little guy on his way. One little guy. Steve, we know you're old. We know you're old. Oh my God, you guys are unreal with the twins. Thanks, Patrick. Much appreciated. What time we got here? We got 8:09, and then we're going to get this bad boy started in a minute. You guys and these twins, man. You guys are nuts. We got these lights too bright. Maybe if I turn one off. Let's see. How's that look? Does that look better? Let me know in the comments if this looks better or if you want the light on. Just let me know. Because if I don't need the light on, I'll keep it off. When can we get those sick EDD Glens with the barrel wings? Johnny, I got a small order in for the Patreons that are needing them, and then I'm getting a big order soon. Hopefully before Christmas we can get those, and it's just going to be, if you want to buy one, we are going to do it just through Venmo, and send when in the Venmo info, leave all your information. I'll get those sent out, but we will have okay, light off. All right, light is off. That keeps that bright thing out of my face for this. That's nice. But hopefully we can get a nice order in for Christmas time. You guys can get some Glencairns for sipping. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you. Cheers to that JD Rye. Yeah, we'll see how it does. All right, what time we got? We got 8:10. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fun one. We got a 6 Jack Daniels whiskey blind in front of us. These are all labeled. I don't know what's in each glass, but on the bar top, we've got the Jack Daniels Coy Hill 2024. We've got the Jack Daniels 12-year. This is 107 proof, so this is the lowest proof bottle in the blind. We'll see how it works. In here, I might be able to pick it out right away, but we'll find out. We've got the Jack Daniels single barrel proof Chris Fletcher 2021 pick at 130.3 proof, so super close to the Coy Hill. Next up, we've got my Jack Daniels Rye. This is coming in at 135.7 proof. Then I threw in here just because, you know, this thing has started to grow on me a little bit. This is my Jack Daniels Barrel Proof, coming in at 131.9 proof. And then finally, I have a bottle that was sent to me from a subscriber a while ago. This is the Jack Daniels Distillery Series at 120 proof, but this one's finished with toasted pecan wood chips. I really enjoyed this one. I forgot I had it. It was tucked in the back of one of my shelves. And I figured, you know what? Let's have this bad boy thrown into this blind. Just see how it does. I'm very excited to see where these all land. Let's see. All right. Tim said no light. Mr. Mom, everyone thought my older brother and I were twins. He was 7.5 years older. We were out shopping and had been asked a dozen times if we were twins. I heard Salty got caught bagging butterball turkeys. That is insane, this turkey phenomenon that's going on. Hopefully nobody is going to be stuck with one of those turkeys. But here we go. We're going to start on A. A is on our right. We're going to be moving our way to the left. So here we go. Let's get on the nose. Salty, one time in college. I believe it. I do believe it. I believe it 100%. It smells like Jack. It smells like Jack. One time in college and at band camp. You're going to get that. I'll join you with the Jack Rye single barrel proof 130. That's a high proof rye right there. That really is. Yeah, guys, if you want to join in with a Jack pour that you've got. Let's get some sipping some Jack Daniels. Bring us back to our 21st birthdays at the bar. You know, why not? Yeah, Mark, you should definitely get something to drink here. So let's get on the palate here. I like the nose on this. It smells like Jack. This is all going to be preferenced on palate because the noses are going to be somewhat similar. I finally said yes, and they asked who was older. I said him. I told her he was 7.5 years older. I was premature and lost time in the incubator. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, that's really nice. That's really good. It's proofy. It's got some proof to it. But it does have that warm banana note. Obviously, what every Jack is going to have is that warm banana note. Really, really nice though. It's sweet. It's got a little bit of a bitterness to it, but not too crazy. Not too crazy. Yeah, Mike, this is not your 21st birthday, Jack, for sure. What happened there? What happened with the drawing room? Why did his message get retracted? Did I not want to say it? But this is good. Oh, man. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite all-time Jack Daniels release was that you've had. Whether it was a barrel proof, a single barrel, rye, or bourbon, what the proof was and how long you had it for and when you got it. Let me see those. Oh, the drawing room's got a 2023 JD twice barreled Heritage Rye. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Whoa. This nose is rich. The nose is so much better on B than A. So much better. Oh my. The only JD I have is an SLB pick from last year. Tastes like peanut butter. Now that's interesting that it tastes like peanut butter. That one's got some age to it. That's got some oaky presence to it. That's really good, whatever's in B. I'm definitely putting B in front of A right off of the bat. Just moving these glasses however I seem fit. But let's talk about what I've got planned for 2025 because I know a lot of you guys are interested. And hopefully in the works, we've got, hopefully, I can do a barrel pick every 3 months. I'm looking to do a couple in the beginning of the year that are on the cheaper side of the price range in the hopefully $50 to $70 range comparative to what the first release was at 115 plus shipping because that was absolutely insane and I appreciate every single one of you guys that picked that bottle up. But the first couple are hopefully going to be those cheaper bottles, so that way you guys can pick up multiple if you're interested in that. But as always, it is going to be released to the Patreons first. So if you are not in the Patreon, I highly recommend clicking that link, join up on the Patreon because you're not going to be disappointed whatsoever. I can let you guys know I'm working on a Blue Note pick. Hopefully a Cedar Ridge pick right in the beginning of the year to get some really cool stuff out. Been in contact with both of those companies. So we've got some fun things coming out, and you guys are not going to want to miss that whatsoever. David said, I thought the turkey bang was a joke. We'll see after the PETA investigation. I think they're just going to have to go around and smell everybody and see who smells like turkey, and that's going to be the culprit. Tim said, when I finish my Eagle Rare pour, I will do a JD single barrel proof rye. There you go. I like it. Yeah, so going back to this, B was so much better than A in my personal opinion, but we're going to move on to C and see what C is all about. Oh, man. Old Number 7 was my first whiskey when I was 18. It was my go-to for years. Lots of good memories. I recently got a JD single barrel proof. That's one of the best of all times. Yes, I totally agree. The first whiskey I ever had, again, was Jack Daniels. And then in college, I got so messed up on Jameson. I haven't had Jameson since. And I think that's solely where the the love for bourbon came was because Irish whiskey, no matter what, most of them are still going to have that weird note to them that, just puts me off and makes me want to throw up immediately. And I wish it wasn't the case. I wish I could be a little bit more spread out in my whiskey world and try different things. I've liked the spots and stuff like that, but and some red breasts, but most of the other ones, those Irish pot stills, they just, for me, just not it. Let's get into the nose on C. That's really nice. Adam, I'm not doing Jaeger. Not doing it. Oh, man. C's nose is mind-blowing. Kind of smells like Jaeger. It's softer compared to the nose, though. That's really interesting. I'm immediately putting ahead of A. A, for some reason, A is softer, and it just doesn't, it's flavorful. It's got a little bit of a nutty note to it, but I just don't think it's as punchy as C and B were so far. Mark, we didn't agree on anything. There was no agreeing on Malort or Jaeger or doing any nasty shot whatsoever. That was not in the works. That was all you guys talking. Ugh. If you get a chance, try Teeling Single Grain and Powers John's Lane. I have heard really good reviews about most of the Powers releases. For some reason, I don't look in the Irish whiskey or the Scotch sections most of the time when I go into stores. So next time I go in, I'm going to have to keep a mental note in the back of my mind to go and check out some of the other whiskey selections. Because I know there are some really good options out there that, will spread open the book and, get me interested and intrigued in other releases. Powers 3 Swallows is also good. That's the one I think I've heard really good reviews about, is the Swallows, the 3 Swallows. The Johnny Walker, I'm not, again, the single, that's a blended Scotch, right? The Johnny Walkers are all blended Scotches. Powers Rye, is it good for $35? Okay, all right. That's not a bad price for it's an Irish. It's Irish rye? I thought they used malted barley, but I could let me know. I have not much idea on the Irish whiskey world, but we're getting into D. Let's get into D. Let's get into some D. That sounded wrong. Don't quote me on that. Here's another question for you guys. We're in the end of November. Most of the big releases have been dropped, and we've got most bottles that have been released throughout 2024. Let's have a conversation, and I want to see in the chat right now what your favorite releases were of the year, and what some people picked up from craft distillers. If they think that they beat out some of the other bigger releases of the year so far, right? Most people are going to say the J.D. Coy Hill. Some people are going to say the Russell's 15. Obviously, the B-Tacs are going to be in that conversation, as well as, what are they? The Pappies and, like Mike just said, Disco 12. That's a bottle that is unfortunate. I can't get here in Jersey. I gotta go out and look around and go to another state or online and stuff like that. But okay, Westwood Milestone. Chris, I think you talked about that one the other night. D is insane. This D is insane. And you know what I'm trying to say. Don't twist my words. Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Weeded. So, Dave, did you get all 3 of the grain to glasses? This is deep and dark and robust and rotund, and it just smells juicy. D is delicious. I'm gonna just move this up just like that for right now because that is incredible. Thanks, Salty. I appreciate that. Check that out once we get out of this situation here on the live. But hopefully this doesn't end for a while. Tim, my worst whiskey was not even a whiskey. Drinking a fifth of Southern Comfort in Key West and ended up passed out on stage of a David Crosby concert, sleeping on the couch on stage while he left. That's hilarious. No, just waited, but tried the bourbon. Okay, all right. I didn't get much for allocated stuff, but my best of the year is Russell's Reserve 15. Steve, I remember when you got that. I got my 15 like a week after you, and we were both stoked. Everybody in the Discord chat was cursing us out because we both got lucky that week. Salty said I'd have to agree with the Disco 12 statement. Mike said I would push an old lady down the stairs to get my hands on a Russell's Reserve 15. I just don't know what to do with you, Mike, because some of the things that you say are just absolutely out of this world. Adam saying Russell's 15, the bomb burgers, okay. Maker's Mark, the Lost Recipe, Empire Crust, I love that. Bardstown Origin Wheated Bourbon, the 106 proof is great. None of these releases hit Vermont. Now that's really interesting. Biggest upset, Weller 12 year. Weller 12 year is always an upset. It really is. I think we're on E now. Agree, Adam. That is poop. My favorite of 2024 has been Larceny A124. I did like both of the Larcenys, A124 and B524. Have not seen the C924 in Jersey, either the Larceny or the Elijah Craig. For some reason, just hasn't dropped. Why? I don't know. I think some people in Jersey have seen it. Just I haven't seen it in any of the stores that I frequent. Dave said Maker's Mark the Heart release. Now, I was not the biggest fan of the Heart release. I do remember doing the review of it when it was dropped, and I'm pretty sure I said it wasn't. It was a bottle that was good at MSRP, but anything more, it's not worth it. I think that's just like where my mind is staying with that bottle, because I did have another sip of it about 2-3 weeks ago, and again, just wasn't one that just was like, wow, that is something that is blowing my mind out. What's going on here? Am I frozen on your screens? I am. What the fuck happened? Are we back? I think we're back. We're good? You guys see me? You hear me? Give me a thumbs up. I'm back. You guys, back, thumbs up. Awesome. Okay. I don't know what happened there. I think I got a phone call and it screwed up my entire process there. Where was I? Oh, talking about the Maker's Mark. Yeah. Great $90 or $75, $80 bottle, but anything more than that, not worth it. Not worth it whatsoever. Ease Nose is good too. Where was I? We were just talking about the Maker's Mark Heart release. Now my brain is kind of all kinds of screwed up. Have I tried to guess any of the blind pours yet? Mike says. I haven't tried to guess any of them. I'm just going off of what I believe is the best in flavor. And so far, I think B and D are the two best. C and A are okay. They're not the greatest in the world, but we're on E now. So I did like B and D the most so far, though. Oh man, where's Josh? Somebody get Josh in here. I don't know how, why, or how he could be missing this. Scott said, "Cheers, sipping on Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye myself, watching the stream. Thanks, Scott. Cheers to you." Exactly, Mike. Where is Josh? Where is Josh? Somebody go in the Discord and get him in here, because he's missing a good time, and I know Josh likes his Jack Daniels. Yeah. This nose is the darkest, but it's not the sweetest, which is, sometimes the darkness doesn't bring in sweetness, it just brings in depth. That's what this one has. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Okay. This is turning out to be so difficult. Jack Daniels puts out some incredible whiskeys. And that right there is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Exactly. Where's Waldo? Where is Waldo? Oh, Salty texted the goat. All right. I like it. I like it. I'm going to move E just automatically up. I'm not going to put it in front of D right now, but these three so far are definitely the best three that I've sipped at the moment. Ashley says, drinking the Sagamore 9-year. Very nice, very nice. Ashley, Mike actually lives in Virginia, and he loves all of those Sagamore bottles. I love my Sagamore bottles. Hopefully we can do a Sagamore pick. I'm going to try and get in contact with them. If you guys are also interested, I'm going to try and do a meetup this year for the Patreons, hopefully at Sagamore. So that's going to be fun as hell too. I'm very excited for that. That's only about a 2-hour drive for me, and we'll see how that goes. That's hopefully in the works. We'll see how that goes. F. F is very interesting. F is the brightest, and it's the most banana forward. I'm not quite sure how much I like F on the nose. It's bright and it's very banana-like. Not my favorite thing in the world. It's a flavor punch. I do think it's better than A and C, but it does have a bitter note to it that I'm not the biggest fan of. And I think if I had to guess what one that is, Mike, I'm going to let you know what I think that one is. I think that's my barrel proof pick, this one right here. Just not the biggest fan of it. Just has this like overwhelmingly dry, bitter note that just suffocates my tongue. Not the biggest fan of it. Okay. Yeah, Mike, I don't think F is the 12-year. I don't. Steve, meetup would be sick. Yes, it would. I'm very excited to hopefully get a meetup going this year. I think Sagamore is in the middle of a lot. I don't want people driving too far, but we're in the works of doing a fun meetup, and I'm very excited. Salty, no one wants to meet you assholes. I like that. That's very funny. Adam, what whiskey do you find yourself buying over and over again consistently? What I find myself buying over and over again consistently is going to be Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. Wild Turkey 101. I got all these bottles here because I literally just finished them. Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Buffalo Trace. These are always on my shelves. Always, always, always. And where's the last one? I don't quite remember where I put it. I might have threw that bottle out. I probably threw it out, but Benchmark Single Barrel is one of my absolute favorite go-to bottles. Benchmark Single Barrel is absolutely delicious. Always, always, always a go-to for me. Always, always. At like $27, 95 proof, you're getting something that's better, in my opinion, than Weller Single Barrel. And it's a third of the price at MSRP. And then it's also not allocated and not on secondary markets at all. OGD 114, 100%, always buying that too. Mike said, does the Benchmark Single Barrel come anywhere near the 1792 Single Barrel? So the two differences that I can probably say with those is the Benchmark Single Barrel is sweeter, it's lighter, it's a one-note wonder. I always get that vanilla, that royal vanilla icing on the Benchmark Single Barrels, whereas the 1792 Single Barrel is it has a little bit more depth to it. It's got a little bit more complexity, some more nuance in there that I always find enjoyable. So I will say that the 1792 Single Barrels to me are a better buy of whiskey. But if you're looking for something that's going to be consistently delicious for the cheap and a really good buy that you can find almost all the time if you have Benchmark in your area, is the Benchmark Single Barrel. That's what I'll say to that. Have you tried New Label Rare Breed? Yeah, no, I don't have a bottle of the New Label yet. I had 2 backups of the old label, and then the bottle that Andrew gave me. This is the bottle that Andrew gave me. And we are about a fifth of the way through that bottle. So once I'm done this one, I'll go pick up 2 more backups, and they will be the new labels. I don't think the new label changes the juice inside of it, though. Something's shaking the entire apartment. I think it's the train coming. We tried, okay, having trouble finding Russell's Reserve 15 and JD Coy Hill in Tennessee. Between the two, which do you think is the one to hunt? It's so tough to say. I think I would probably go with the Russell's Reserve 15 year. I think that one just holds itself a little bit more, and on secondary, it's going for a little bit more. I think that, with the age and the proof and just we don't know if we're going to get another Russell's Reserve 15-year release. I think that right now that would be the pickup, whereas we will get more Coy Hills. Mike, I definitely recommend getting the Benchmark Single Barrel, 100%. Adam, I finished the Sagamore Double Oak often. I bring that to a friend's house to try every time. It's a good one. It's such a good bottle. It really is. Tim says we can only get Benchmark 8 in Vermont. That's interesting. We were only getting Benchmark 8 here in Jersey for a while until, I think, not this year, but last year when they dropped Benchmark most of their stuff, except for the bottled and bond, because I don't get the bottled and bond here in Jersey, but I do get the top floor, the small batch, the full proof, and the single barrel here. Yeah, Adam, the Benchmark Single Barrel is amazing. But where you're going to go into these 4 here, I think these 2, they're good, but they're just not that good. F, I think was okay. I think it was probably the 3rd worst. So let's go into these 3 first, and then we'll go into these 3 last. So let's try and dial it down to the worst, and then dial it into the best. So here, let's go on these 3. Salty says, I wasn't a huge fan of the Benchmark Full Proof. The Benchmark Full Proof's a great mixer. I don't do anything else with it other than mix with it. Putting the link to the Patreon again in there for you guys. $2 a month, that's all it is. Gets you into a bunch of fun giveaways, free chats and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't, make sure you guys drop that like. Drop that like on the video. Let's get this out there so that we can get some more people in here, because we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, F is good. It's got this little bit of a bitteriness that I'm not a fan of. It's good to see again. C's nose is delicious. It's so nice. Mike, did your baby mama set up the blind? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yeah, salty. Always, if you don't like something, just mix it in a cocktail. The bad flavors go away, and they're always hidden. They're always hidden. Benchmark Bonded is super solid. Picked one up here in Florida last month. The goat said that he could get me one in Ohio, so hopefully I can get one. C is better than F. I do like C's profile a little bit better than F. It's very similar, but a little bit better. Benchmark Foolproof 50/50 with Weller Special Reserve is pretty good. Now that sounds interesting. That turns it into a 4-grain Buffalo Trace offering. I like that. I like that. I do like A a little bit more than F and C. It's got a little bit more of a richness to it. It feels like it has a little bit more of a body that is a little bit more just pleasant compared to what C and F is. It's got a little bit more of a rich, dark, there's almost like a demerara or sugar in there that I really, really enjoy. So I think we have this narrowed down to where A, C, and F are the bottom 3, but F is last, C is second to last, and A is third to last. Now let's get into B, D, and E. But first, sip of water. Adam, how has your wife adjusted to this bourbon adventure? You seem to create this for you've created for yourself. She's all for it. She loves it. You know, she's part of the Instagram. She helps me with the Instagram a lot. She comments back and forth with people for me. She makes posts and stuff like that. Replies to comments. You know, she has fun with it. Any chance she gets, she tells people about the channel and stuff like that. So she's my wingman. She's always talking it up more than I am. I'm shy and like not outgoing when we're in public. It's weird. I've run into some people at liquor stores, and they say you're the everyday drinker, and I'm like, yeah, I am, and I try not to make it known, but sometimes I do get seen, which is always strange. A little old-fashioned cheers. Cheers to you too, brother. Cheers to you. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I think we're all doing well. I hope you're doing well. Yes, just looked on Ohio Liquor. It should be there. I think that, yeah, they are. I thought so. What's everybody's plans for Thanksgiving? It's a couple days away. You guys doing it in your house? You going out to a restaurant? You going to a family house? What are you guys doing? I want to see what you guys are doing. Let's see those comments in the chat. Oh man, E has this maple syrup note that's so nice. Oh, I like that a lot. Steve said, getting drunk at my brother's house. I like that. Good for you. Football and whiskey. Good. I'm happy for you, Salty. I'm happy for you. Does everybody have turkey on Thanksgiving? Or are you doing ham? You doing a pig roast? What are you guys doing? You doing turkeys? Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that very much. E is delicious. Adam said, sadly, I have to host. Just bought a whole new kitchen and had to demo my current kitchen. Will be sitting on the floor. That's fun. That's fun. Turkey, but I barely eat it. Not really my jam. Yeah, turkey for me, if it's dry, I'm not for it. I am not for a dry turkey at all. I'm mostly going for the ham with some homemade mashed potatoes and enjoying myself like that. Oh, you smoking your turkey? Okay, I like that. D's nose is incredible. It really is incredible. Drawing room, smoked short rib chili, and cornbread. Now that sounds incredible. Spatchcock smoking it. Okay, all right. Standing rib roast. The wife says. There you go. I like it. I like it. I'm all. One year we did a prime rib, and that was incredible. D is definitely moving in to the lead, and I think E might be better than B. But here we go. Let's find out it's going on in B. Let's see. My coworker is smoking a 17-pound turkey, going over to his place for Turkey Day. I like that idea. Make sure you guys, if you are frying your turkey, it's not frozen. We don't want anybody here getting injured. Steve, I'm thinking the same thing. That does sound amazing. I wish I was going over their place. B is Flavor Town. It's got a little oaky presence. All three of these are so good, but I do think that this is the best preferred order for these three. I could go back and forth with D and E a little bit more. Yeah, no butterball turkeys, everybody. Please don't do that. D is just so good. It's really good. It's really good. Oh man. Oh, Mike with the $50. All right, when this blind is done, I'm requesting a quick head-to-head blind from looking at your shelves. You've done it before, but I want to see it live after you've had all this JD. All right, we'll see. And once this is done, we'll see what that head-to-head is, because I don't know what head-to-head you're talking about. So you got to let me know. But, Mike, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you. Oh, man, that's so nice of you. How do... Mike is the absolute GOAT. He really is. All right, so here I've got what I think to be the best, the lineup that it's going to be. I've got D in first, E in second, B in third, and then we've got A, C, and F. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see how this goes. Mr. Mom says Cowboys football and traditional Thanksgiving at home. Me and my son, daughter's son-in-law, and grandson are going to his family gathering. We were invited but opted to stay home and keep it small and cozy. I like it. I like that a lot. Dave said butterball or pre-stuffed. I like that. That's great. Mark, it needs to involve in pie crust. We'll see. We'll see what Mike wants to do. Oh, you lost the smoker to the hurricane. That's such a shame. Those hurricanes down there in Florida were rough. But here we go. Let's find out. We're gonna find out what F is. F is going to. It's on the front. I don't know why I looked on the bottom. I gotta just take my guess, and I'm thinking F is gonna be my pick, which is this one right here, Bottle Republic. It is F. Hopefully you guys can see that on the bottom there, big old F. So that is last place. Next we had C. And C, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say is the other regular Crest Fletcher single barrel. It had somewhat of a similar flavor profile, but was a little sweeter and didn't have such a bitter note to it. It is C. So as you guys can see, C was next. So So that's interesting that these two aren't, they both had somewhat of a similar flavor profile, and I just wasn't the biggest fan of. Just wasn't. But let's find out A. A was good. But I think A was this one. So let's see. A, it is. It is. Had a little bit of that nutty note to it that really stood out, honestly. So that was, you know, something that stood out kind of like a sore thumb in a way, because I did find that nuttiness to it, and it brought in a little bit more of that like deeper, darker note that I really did like about it, that made it a little bit better than these other two single barrel offerings. Are we frozen again? What's going on here? Am I frozen? I don't know what is going on my screen. Are we good? No, we're good. Okay, not frozen. All right. So next up, we have these three heavy hitters here. We've got the Coy Hill, the 12-year, and the barrel proof rye. This is a fun one. This is fun because I kind of thought that these three were going to be in the contention for best, and that's where we are. We had letter B in third place. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say it's the Coy Hill. I really might think it's the Coy Hill. It is not. It is not the Coy Hill. Let's just go down the line. Let's see, is it the 12-year? It is the 12-year. So 12-year is for the third place, which means our top two are the Coy Hill and the rye. This, I don't know how you could have wrote this up any different, but I want to see in the comments right now what you all think came in first place. Do you think it was the barrel proof rye, or do you think it was the Coy Hill? Let's see those comments in the chat before I reveal what it is. Because this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Salty saying he hopes it was the rye. Mike saying, I think it was the Coy Hill, but I pray it's the rye. Drawing room is saying rye. Mark is saying the rye. Steve says, just go to show how good that rye is. Steve, it really does go to show just how good this Jack Daniel's rye is. I was going back and forth with these two like crazy. It was so good. It's so good. Dying for the rye. Patrick's saying rye. Chris is saying the rye. Oh, they're both so good, but I am leaving them in the order that they're in. So without further ado, we are going to find out what they are. E and D. We've got the winner is going to be the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. As you guys can see, we had E, which was the rye, and then we had the Coy Hill, which was right in front of it with the D and the D. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's not unfortunate because we know how good this rye is, and it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Mike, it was so close. It was unbelievably close just how good this rye is. I mean, this is unbelievable. I do know that the 2021 is just leaps and bounds better. But, you know, if you found one of these for MSRP or even close at $100, you got a steal of a bottle. A steal of a bottle. Not I need to go drink my You do need to go drink that single barrel rye. This is a fun battle. This was a fun battle for sure. All right, Mike. What do you want to see? What do you want? Let's see it. Yes, Mike. Pour that rye. Pour that rye. Everybody go pour their ryes if they have them. I'm going to put these away. I'm going to leave these two on the bar so I can finish them. Let's put that bad boy back where it was. Put this over here. Put these two back. put these over here because I'm sure you guys want me to drink some more things. Blind some more because you guys always want me to do some more blinds. Mike says, if you can work, if you can work, make it happen. I'd like to see you blind each Taylor small batch against John J. Bowman single barrel. So Mike, here's the thing. I don't have any more of my. Oh wait, the E.H. So I don't have the E.H. Taylor small batch. I do have some more of my E.H. Taylor single barrel. The E.H. Taylor small batch that I have up there is for the giveaway. So I'm hopefully getting another small batch tomorrow, but I don't have one at the moment that I can drink. So that's unfortunate. So mix all of those JDs together and drink the ultimate blend. You think E.H. Taylor single barrel will beat the John J. Bowman? I don't have any Bookers. No, Mike, that's one of the only bourbons that I don't have any of. So let's just take these, pour them together, make that blend for you. Thanks, brother. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I much appreciate that. Mike, do you want me to put the rye and the koi in the blend or just the other ones that lost? No, don't put them in the blend. Okay, or in the blend. Okay. This is a lot of fun. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see what this blend is all about. Mark says, Steve, Booker's is something you introduced me to, and damn. See, Booker's is one of those ones that I just haven't gotten into. Need to do a Booker's versus Empire Crush sometime. If you do, I highly, highly recommend doing it if you haven't. Steve, I know you love your Bookers. It's high proof, it's high, and it burns, and I know you like that. This smells weird. It smells very, very weird. The one thing that comes out on this is obviously because it's a lot of the bourbon is that bitter note. And I can't get behind the Jack Daniel's rye bourbons. I just don't know why. I guess it's because they're young and they get a little bit too much of that the charriness, but for some reason the Coy Hill just is right up my alley. Oh, thank you, baby. I love you. Happy early birthday to the best. Thank you. She rocks. Everybody say happy late birthday to Olivia. Her birthday was last Wednesday. It's the only week of the year that we're the same age. Why didn't you make a cameo tonight? I don't know why. She has all the power in the world to come right through that door and say hello to everybody. Mike, what do you want? Do you want me to do a blind of something? Or am I just sipping on this? I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If anybody wants me to do a blind of two, let me know because I'll put them on the Lazy Susan, spin them around, and we'll have some fun. Ah, the goat is in the house. Josh says, happy belated birthday, and thanks for letting Nathan spend his time with us. Thank you for letting me spend my time with them. I was out buying ice cream for when you guys are done. I like my ice cream. Not going to stay long here, but happy birthday, good sir. Hey, thank you very much, Ben. Much appreciated for the birthday wishes. Hope you had a good day. And for however long you stay, hope you have a great Thanksgiving as well. This is I'm not a fan of it, but it's good. It's good, not the best. Hey, you're the oldie right now. Don't be rude. I don't have any Four Roses limited editions. What's your take on the Blood Oath these days? I know that taste changed over time. I had some recently and I really enjoyed it. I liked most of the older Blood Oaths. Like I have packed 8 up there. I liked 6, 7, and 8. I did not like 9, and I have not tried 10. So I don't know which Blood Oath you had, Mike. If it was the newer one, I think that's the one that finished in Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Franc barrels. So you had 8. That's the one I had. 8 is absolutely incredible because it's finished in Calvados casks, which is apple brandy. And apple and bourbon just goes hand in hand together, in my personal opinion. It's absolutely insane. I love that bottle. What's the most I would pay for a Russell's 15? Probably $325 would be the most I would pay for a Russell's 15. And nothing more. But definitely less. I did get lucky and got mine for $200. I know Steve, I think he spent $300 on his, and we all were like, yeah, that's a great price. And I think $325 is probably the max that I would go for a Russell's 15. Do a blind of your different stags. Okay. Bardstown wheat and high wheat. Okay, I like that idea too. I like that one. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that one because that was mentioned first. So we've got the 100 proofer and the 106. So they're somewhat close in proof. Let's take out our glasses here. Oh goodness gracious me! Grab the Lazy Susan. Oh. What about the single barrel proof rye versus the handy? I've done that blind before, and they're very, very close. But the Thomas H. Handy does beat it out. And I've done it a couple of times, and it does beat it out every single time. It's close. It's very, very close. But for some reason, the Thomas H. Handy is just one of my absolute favorite whiskeys of all time. Let's see. Wait, you mean hot? You want the Origin, which is the corn, wheat, and malted barley, and the bottled and bond wheat and the high wheat, right? Salty. Just double checking. I got the right bottles. Okay, all right. Just double checking. So the Bardstown Black Label of the bottled and bond is going to be A. On the bottom there. And then the high rye or high wheat is going to be B. I never thought about doing this blind. This is a very interesting one. So let's put that on here. Let's pour a little bit of this bad boy. Salty with the great call. What a call. Salty says the high wheat wins all day. The Struggler Project, thank you for the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. What's the most you'd pay for a pour at a bar of Russell's Reserve 15 if you can't find a bottle? That's an interesting take because pours are always so vastly different in prices. Like I got blessed with going to just a little like hole in the wall whiskey bar and had a William LaRue Weller pour for, again, quote me if I'm wrong. You guys remember seeing the prices? I think it was $32. I can't quite remember for the William LaRue Weller for an ounce and 3/4 pour. I think that was absolutely stellar of pricing. So, you know, most places are going to have those pours for upwards of $100. And I think if you can get Russell's Reserve 15 for an ounce and a half pour for $50, or a 2 ounce pour for like 75, I think you do it. You just it's a whiskey that you might not ever see again. And because of those factors, just because of those, that in itself, I think it's worth it for that, because it's a whiskey you might not see again. I could be wrong on that. You guys might think I'm absolutely crazy on that, but just my take. I'm gonna move these out of the way. A little bit of water. Thank you, John. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. Oh my God, I don't remember what is which at all. Let's see. Those glasses give it away. I don't pay attention to absolutely anything. When I do blinds like this, I don't pay attention whatsoever. This nose is nice. I always get hay bales on a weeder. It all depends on where do those hay bales go. Do they go sweet, or do they go towards like the musty, rainy, wet grass note? And this definitely has that sweeter note to it, and I really do like it. And I think, Salty, you got me. You found this bottle for me. I think it's almost time for a new one too, because we are very low on that bottle. Very, very low. Ah, that nose is wonderful. Let's get into the palate. Oh, it's just so good. It's vanilla icing, caramel drizzle, a little bit of a cake note, like a vanilla cake. You get that the richness in the vanilla on this is just mind blowing. I love these Bardstown so much, and whatever that one is unreal. It's funny, those bonded are hard to get. They sell out fast. The high wheats have been more available for some reason around here. I just want to say thank you to your great community. I don't have anyone around me that really dives into bourbon, but the Patreon members are awesome and super helpful. Adam, you bring an energy into the Discord that only a couple people have had, and you're a great person as well. Steve just started seeing Bardstown on shelves, and you're in Massachusetts, so that's good. It's Ronald Brown, caramel drizzle. My guy has been to Starbucks. I've been to Starbucks a time or two, but this isn't like a Starbucks a caramel or caramel, however you say it, however you want to say caramel. But this isn't like a Starbucks caramel. This is like one of those caramel drizzles on top of like a salted chocolate covered pretzel. It's really good. I like that. I like that. Go Birds is right. Put a whooping on those Rams last night. Adam did get the stamp of approval the first night on the Discord. He really did. He really did. This nose is interesting. The nose is not as good as the one on the left. Dave says, "Happy birthday, brother! I had a bottle of Bardstown in my hand, but I put it back because I had already grabbed 3 bottles." I understand that feeling. Mark said, to Steve, I was looking in the mention area the other day. I literally was about to text you and stop by on the way home. The Big Dub Network, happy birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate the birthday wishes. It means a lot to me. It really does. The nose is not as good as the one on the left. It's not. It's not. Delco guy, appreciating good content. I hopped on board the second I saw your streams. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. Big Dumb Network, I had the Disco 12. It's top notch. The other guy, Mike in here, loves Disco 12. It's one of his absolute favorites. Now the palette, though, is a different story. It's a little bolder. I don't know. They're both so good. They're both so good. All right, Ronald is saying that the Disco 12 is hands down in this top 3. All right, I can appreciate a whiskey that not a lot of people are putting into categories, right? Like when I looked at, doing my best bourbon of the year, I did the 2 different categories because I think that it's important to have one that's great for low proofers and one that's great for high proofers. But I also didn't want to put things in that are all super hard to find. Like I wanted to put things in there that are readily available on the shelves. Like I put the Green River, I put the Old Colonel from a craft distiller, the Cedar Ridge. I did put the Russells and Coy Hill in there because obviously those are some great releases that need to be showcased. But I'm seeing a lot of other people on TikTok and YouTube just not putting like hard, easy to find bottles in there that are absolutely spectacular, that deserve a chance to go head to head with these harder to find bottles. And for me, that's why I needed to put these other bottles in there, because I think that they deserve a place in the conversation for whiskeys of the year. 10,000 subscribers, still humble. I'm not at 10,000 yet, but it's coming right around the corner. And I'm so appreciative of every single one of you guys that have subscribed and stayed here for the entire ride. Like Salty, like Josh, like Mike, like Mark, like everybody from the beginning to now that have subscribed and are joining in for their first live. I know I don't do these as often as I want, but the times that I do, we have a great freaking time, and this is a fun time. But we need to get back to this whiskey right here, because I'm doing a blind, and I keep rambling, and that happens all the time. But Renault says, amen, bro, I agree. Well, Salty, what are we talking about Pikesville Rye for? Why are we talking about Pikesville Rye, Salty? I have no idea why you even said that. But going back to the blind. I do like the one on the right a little bit more, I think. Yes, Salty. You're right. Pikesville Rye is an easy to find bottle that is a killer bottle. It really is. I wish it was released in 2024, because it definitely would have been put in the competition, but definitely, I think it's been around for a while. Dave, have you ever done a meetup bottle exchange with your Patreon members? No. So if you missed it, I think you did. I was talking about we're going to be doing a meetup in 2025, hopefully at a distillery. I'm hoping to possibly do it at Sagamore. Might be in the works. Definitely got to talk back and forth with them again. But if it's not Sagamore, it's definitely happening. Where? I don't know. But we're definitely going to be doing a Patreon meetup in 2025. It's going to be a fun one. Very, very excited for that because, you know, we're getting a little bit bigger. Patreon's growing, more members and everything like that. So it is definitely, definitely happening. At Big Dub, same. Can't find it anywhere. Should have bought 2. Is Pikesville the top rye from Heaven Hill? I'm trying to think, but I'm getting a little hammered. Pikesville is this one right here, Mike. It's the green and white label, 110 proof. This is a bourbon drinker's rye. This is 51% rye, so it's very low on the rye for a rye and very high on the rye for if you want to call it bourbon. It's really good. I love Pikesville. Ronald says, is it me or is Willet falling off? I feel like that hunt for the purple top has fallen. I agree with you. Now, I have, obviously you can see I have a purple top there. I don't need another purple top after this one. This is one that I'm going to enjoy for quite a while. Sip it slowly, enjoy it for what it is. Lucky it's a very, very, it's a shorty barrel. It's a good barrel. Other people that got this one absolutely love it. Some people aren't a fan of it, but I think it's because it's a little bit off profile from what the OG mash bill Willet is, but it is what it is. Meet up at Angelo's. Unfortunately, not bourbon there though. That's funny. That's funny. Purple tops are overpriced. Steve, I will say the good purple tops that are priced, it's hard to say because they're hit or miss, just like, you know, I could throw this bottle out there, but it doesn't compete anywhere near it. Now I'm drawing a blank. I had it in my head. The 10-year 100 bottled and bond. Golly. You guys know what I'm talking about, I hope. McKenna 10-year, exactly. Thank you, Mike, for the help there. Drawing a complete blank. But those are hit or miss. Some of them are absolute bombs. Some of them you could do without. And I think that's the same case for these Willets. You got to pay attention to the barrel numbers on them because the barrel numbers are going to let you know what mash bill is going to be in that bottle and what that barrel was. And some people don't pay attention to that. This one is an OG Willet mash, which is important because those are some of the higher sought after ones. You can find some of their higher rye, some of their lower rye, some of their wheated, some of their higher barley grain. They have, I don't really remember how many different mash bills they have, but that shows you what these are going to be, and they're all going to be different. So you got to pay attention to that barrel to find out, that barrel number to find out what that mash bill is going to be of that bottle. But going back to this, let's pick a winner. I think my winner is going to be what number was this one? B. It's going to be the one on the right, and it's going to be B. So it's going to be, I think that this one is not much better, but definitely better than the Black Label for sure. I'm glad to know Gracie. Yes, that is Mike. That is Mike. That's funny. That's funny. Steve said that's too much work. Well, if you're looking for a hard to find great whiskey, you got to put the work in, unfortunately. Phil McCracken. There you go. There you go. Oh, man. That's good. Hugh Janus. There we go. You guys are going crazy now. All right, if we want more blind, throw a little tip out there and pick the blind for me. We'll do leave a tip, throw out the 2 bottles, we'll blind them, and we'll have some fun. I'll grab the glasses. Don't let me down. Well, it looks like I got scammed on a bottle. What did you get? What bottle are you talking about? Ordered a F Cancer Penelope from Shared Pour. Really? Shared Pour scammed you? Adam says, honest opinion about Blood Oath. Have a buddy that raves about it, but I don't know. That's the thing, right? Blood Oath, they're all expensive. They've gone up in price. You know, I think they're going for like $140 now. I don't know if it's worth it for 98.6 proof whiskey. You're getting older whiskey in there, but you're also getting some younger whiskey in there. You know, I talked about the Blood Oath 8 that I've got up there. I got it as a gift 2 years ago. Great bottle. Didn't like the 9 and the 10 that's out now. Haven't had a chance to try it, so I just don't know. The Big Dub. Stats on your purple top. Purple top. Is 10-year-old at 129.6 proof. Barrel number 4026. And then bottle number 52 of 71. There you guys have it. So it's a great bottle. I love this bottle so much. It kicks you in the face. But it's one that can't compete with absolutely anything. But I didn't want to put it in the best whiskey of the year because it's such a limited release. So hard to find. Definitely not worth it because it was only released in Jersey because this is the NJ Selection Thunder Road. Mark says we need Olivia to pick a blind. No bottle there. Blaming Penelope now. That's interesting. Can you get your money back? Little old fashioned. About to make an old fashioned cocktail. I would think that you would make a Manhattan. Do I have any KC single barrel 100 proofs? If so, the KC versus Empire Crust. I do not have any KC 120 proofers. Josh Hall says, open it. Random info, I finally got my first Old Forester barrel proof rye green label. Haven't opened it yet. Yeah, Mike, I think you open it. I think you go ahead and open it and try it. I think that's what you do. What brand were you the most hesitant about when you first started? I'm deep in the game at this point, but still have to be choosy. Example, I haven't dove into the Penelopes yet. I am very hesitant on Booker's. I don't own a single Booker's bottle. I've had good ones. I've had bad ones. So, you know, I just don't know at $100 if Booker's is honestly worth it. Now that let me tell you right now, the Empire Crust is a Booker's single barrel. Absolutely delicious. But I just don't know if 7-year barrel proof, you know, pretty much Jim Beam is worth it. At 10 years, it's a different story, but that's different. That's another story for a different day. Well, if the goat says so, then I must. Have you guys tried the new Elijah Craig Toasted Cast Strengths? No, I have not. I've seen them on Facebook groups and stuff like that, but I have not picked one up. Penelope delayed cancer bottle shipments. They told my buddy today, ship in December. A bunch of people in the Penelope group are all in the same boat, no bottle yet, ordered 2 months ago. Booker's Reserve, the only way to go this year, but it's going to come at a cost. Yes, it is. Just excuse. That is excuses. It definitely should have been shipped out by now, I'd imagine. But at the end of the day, reach out, see if you can get your money back. You know, I mean, it's a shame that it's going to a good cause, but sometimes some places try to take advantage of you. Come on, what's my blind gonna be, guys? Come on. Someone's got to pick the blind. Leave a tip and we'll do the blind. Got everything right now here ready to go. What's the snowman drinking back there? The snowman's got some Jack Daniels. I think you missed it, Ronald. We did a 6-bottle Jack Daniels blind. The Coy Hill, the barrel proof rye, barrel proof bourbon, 2 barrel proof bourbons, the Jack Daniels 12-year, and the Jack Daniels distillery release only bottle, or Tennessee release only bottle. The which one? This one here, the distillery series. toasted pecan wood chips. And this one actually didn't get last place. Got 4th place out of 6. Porky Prankster said I've seen a single malt Jack Daniels today. Now, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Back to drinking this. Blind a Blue Note and a Green River Foolproof. That's interesting. Holy Jaboli. The nose on this is crazy good. Letting it breathe. Yeah, Mike, you let that bad boy breathe. J-Rock says do a whatever blind. Larceny Makers. Porky, secondary though. How many can we pick in the blind so the game is tip and pick whatever we want? Yeah, Ronald, just I don't have a lot of glasses left. Most of my glasses have been used. So I'm just I was set weeder, not whatever. Pick whatever you pick 2 bottles and tip whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a lot. You can tip $1, $2, $3. Just make a tip and I'll pick those. I'll blind those 2 bottles. I've got everything written out right here, and there we go. Mark says, I have had that single malt JD. It was a release a few years ago. Okay. All right. What are your thoughts on it, Mark? Is it good? Do a weeder blind, Larceny Makers. I do. This is B. Yes. So this was the high wheat Bardstown. So good. Anybody know the score of the football game right now? Who's winning? I do like chocolatey notes. I do. 10-7 Chargers. I like. Okay. All right. Here we go. Keeping it in a game. I decided not to start Lamar. All right. Adam Gray coming in with the 10. Blanton's Gold versus Elmer T. Lee. So I don't have an Elmer T. Lee, but I do have the Blanton's Gold. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick something else. Unfortunately, I don't have an Elmer T. Lee. I've got a regular Blanton's. I've got, what else do I have? So I'll give you all the options for, what else I have? I've got Weller Foolproof, Bowman, E.H. Taylor Single Barrel, Rock Hill. I got Rock Hill. I'll do Rock Hill. Rock Hill it is. All right, so we got A, B, B. This is I have not done this blind yet. I've done a bunch of other Buffalo Trace blinds, but this being both high, like not high proof, but 100, 103 proof, both the Match Bill 2, definitely going to be a fun one. So I will make Blanton's Gold A. Put this on there so I don't forget. Blanton's Gold is A. And then that was a good pop. That was a great pop. Rock Hill Farms is B. Yeah, for some reason, I am just not the biggest fan of MRT Lee. I don't think it's honestly worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I think at 90 proof, you're spending more money on a bottle that is not as good as Blanton's. I think even though Blanton's isn't great, I do think Blanton's is a better bang for your buck than Elmer T. Lee. It's awesome at MSRP. Yeah, if you can find it for whatever it is, 45, 50 bucks, but you're not going to find it at that price. Steve, what's the proof of gold? 103. Salty's already there for me. Ronald says, let's go E.H. Taylor barrel proof rye. E.H. Taylor single barrel versus Pikesville rye from one Birds fan to another. E.H. Taylor single barrel. I don't have E.H. Taylor. Ronald, what do you mean by the E.H. Taylor single barrel rye? They don't have a single barrel. I don't have that one. If that's the one you're talking about, the barrel proof rye, I don't have that one. But I will take the Pikesville out and we'll do that one next. So I'll put that on the side. I'll grab 2 more glasses. So I got that, but if you're talking about a rye that I can put in that, what can I put in that? I've got 2 that are going to be close in proof to the Pikesville is going to be the Michter's at 110.8 or the Hard Truth at 115, which is, both of these are very, very close. So I'll leave that to you, but I will let you know what, but we're back on this. So once we get through this one, we'll get to Ronald's blind as well. So, yeah, Salty, fly, Eagles, fly. It's more of the name than the juice. I don't have enough bourbon friends to care about the names of bourbons I have. Elmer T. Lee has always been blasted as not worth it. So that's the thing. Like, I don't want to like shoot anybody's like wants down. It's not what I'm here for. For me personally, whenever I see Elmer T. Lee, it's always for an astronomical price, and I just personally don't think it's worth that price. Let me check my camera battery real quick. We're cooking. We are good on the camera. Ronald, wait, let's go. Michter's Barrel Proof Rye versus Russell's 13. Is that a fair contest? Ask in the chat. Yeah, chat, let Ronald know if the Michter's verse is the Russell's 13 here is a good blind. We'll see what the chat says. I'll put these on the back burner here for that. But let's start on the left here and see what this glass is all about. Is the Rock Hill Farms worth the price? So Rock Hill Farms I bought for $90, and I absolutely love this bottle. It's one of my favorite bottles at 100 proof. You know, you can see Rock Hill Farms going for like $300, $350. At that price, heck no, not worth it whatsoever. But this is a $55, $60 bottle. At MSRP, this is well worth it. It's so good. It's so good. But let's see if it actually beats out gold. Who knows? Blanton's Gold's great. Rock Hill Farms is great. Both are great. Let's see how this turns out. Ooh. That's good. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit lighter compared to what we've had so far, but it's right in that same range of what we had previously. What's very funny is because you guys are picking my blinds, if you remember the last blind we did, where you did the blended blind, and I was right on point for that, like when I did the Larceny and the Elijah Craig, I was shocked that I was able to pick those up. That was fun as all could be. 1410 Baltimore. Gosh darn it. I hate that. Steve, that blind was awesome. That was awesome. A is Oh my God. That's true. Yes. All right, let's get on to Glass B. Dave, yes, I did try the CYPB sample. Blind that against something. I do have about half of it left. I did drink about half of it. I could definitely blind that against something if somebody wants to see that. But Eddie Martell, what is the best Rock Hill Farms alternative? Now that's interesting. That is an interesting ask, Eddie. Um, uh, because Rock Hill Farms, obviously, it's a single barrel. It's going to be the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 2. Um, I would probably say an Old Forester 100 proof single barrel, or it's going to be lighter in flavor. The John J. Bowman. I think the John J. Bowman is just great as a 100 proof offering in single barrel form. I think that they definitely compete with a lot of the Buffalo Trace offerings. They do use, I don't know if they're still using, but they did or still are using Buffalo Trace juice in their releases. Steve says you need to break a glass tonight to make the live stream lit. Steve, there is going to be no glasses broken or broke this evening. That is not in the cards whatsoever. That was an absolute mistake on my end. What was that? How long ago was that? Was that 2 years ago? That was the old apartment that was in the living room. And I had probably 20 glasses on the bar. And I did this. I made a motion like this. And it just threw one of the glasses all over the place. We had to end the stream. That was an absolute blast. That was so fun. 14-13 Baltimore. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Chargers. Adam says the only John J. Bowman I've seen is the small batch. The small batch is good. I don't like the port finish. I do think that the small batch is a good bottle for what it is. I don't think it's the best, but I do really enjoy the single barrel 100 proofers. Absolutely great. Let's get into this glass B or glass 2, whatever you want to say. Dave says I'm drinking small batch and Eagle. So for these two, both being roughly 100 proof, single barrel offerings of Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 2, they're different. They are different, and I always find that to be intriguing when you get something so similar to what it should be, but they're different, and I just don't know how that can be. You know, obviously they're both aged in different places and stuff like that. They're different ages. Buffalo, the Blanton's is roughly like I think 6 to 8 years, whereas the Rock Hill Farms I think is 9 years. Could be wrong on that, but I did a little bit of research a while ago on Rock Hill Farms, and I did see somewhere that it was around 9 years old. But going back to this, I do like the nose on the one on the right a little bit more. John J. Bowman single barrel versus Rock Hill Farms. If you could only buy one, and I'm assuming you're talking about an MSRP, I am strictly going to go for Rock Hill Farms only because I do tend to like the higher proofed offerings of the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 2. That does not go to say anything about John J. Bowman or how rare the Rock Hill Farms is. I do think that I like the flavor profile of the Rock Hill Farms a little bit more. Exactly, Salty. It's all about location, where you are, and stuff like that, which is it's a shame. I wish everything was available at everybody's store. I really do. But stores would have to be as big as the freaking warehouse that drops the stuff off. Because there's just so much stuff out there in this world. Steve said, I agree, the port is poop. Yeah, I don't need to go back into this again. I do really think that the one on the right, whatever's in this glass, is better than the one on the left. And the one on the right is going to be letter B, which is, so I will show you that. If you can see, letter B is going to be the Rock Hill Farms. I do think that the Rock Hill Farms, like I said, it's a lower proof, not by much, but it is, in my personal opinion, one of my favorites. And I love that bottle so much. So Blanton's Gold's great, but would I buy it again at 175, 185 bucks? No, I wouldn't buy this bottle again. I would buy it straight from the barrel. Those are absolutely incredible. All right, Renaud, we're doing this is the last blind of the night. Did you find out if you want to do the Michters and the Russells? Just need to know before I pour anything. He says, I think that's the move. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. Michters. In this glass here. So we've got Michters is going to be this one. Michters is A. And then Russell's 13 is going to be B. Bourbon Junkies will do a 10 bourbon flight. At what flight do you start seeing sideways? So if you look back on the channel, I did, oh God, somebody find out for me and look back on the channel how many bottles I did in the Buffalo Trace blind. I think I did in that blind 17 or 18 Buffalo Trace offerings. That was a fun blind. I need somebody to go back on the channel, type in Buffalo Trace on the channel or something like that. Find out for me how many bottles that was, because I think at like glass, oh God, 10 or 11, I specifically remember saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this or something along those lines, because that was absolutely insane. Those blinds like that, after 5 or 6 sips in, everything's going to start tasting the same unless it's just something completely different, like in proof range. Like if you're drinking stuff that's in that like 100 to 110 range, it's going to blend in. Now, if you drink something that's going to be in that 90 compared to that 100 to 110, it's going to stick out. Whereas, again, vice versa, if you drink something that's like 125 to 130, when you're drinking that 100 to 110, it's going to stick out as well. So it's hard when you do those big blinds because you want to put that content out because people are always interested in that. But it's hard for yourself to actually sit down and find the nuances and the bourbons that you're doing in those blinds. That's why when I did my 10 highest priced bourbons, I think I did as a blind. I did the blind. I wrote down the nose, the palate, and the finish. I did those in a 3-hour period, and then I recorded the video. And I released And then I let you guys know what came in 10th and first place. So, that was a fun way to do it. That was really, really fun, and I enjoyed that way to do it. I just don't know if you guys enjoyed it. So I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do my Bourbon of the Year categories. But hey, it's going to be fun. Looks like from the thumbnail of that live, it was 16. Okay, all right. We did 16 that day. That's insane. All right, so I've got absolutely no idea what is what. We're going to start on the left here. Let's get on the nose and find out. Okay, I like the nose. It's sweet. It's got a little bit of a wet oak note. I love these Norling glasses. If you guys can see these are beautiful. We did a video a while back where we did what is the best glass for whiskey. I think I like these the most, only because they fit in the hand well. Doesn't warm up the whiskey super, super fast like a Glencairn does. And it just, for me, sipping it, really, really nice. Rolls on the tongue beautifully. Really, really nice glass. It's very crushable. The Empire crust is crushable. Little rye spice, not super high in proof, a little lower. Does have a little bit of a burnt rubber note in there that do I like it? Do I not? Not quite sure. I do like both of these pours, but not knowing which one is which is going to throw me off like you wouldn't believe. Mark, Steve, you need to blind that against all your bookers because I know it is very close to one you gave me. So show me the proof. Oh, those from Norland. Yes, these are Norland glasses. This nose has a wet sock note to it. It's a little higher in proof, tasting wise, a little brighter, an orange zest, almost pushing a little bit less sweet into like the lemon zestiness. Steve, you know what I mean by wet sock. I know a lot of you guys know what I mean by wet sock because it comes off and it just smells like a wet sock. I don't know why. It's got a wet sock note. Going into these, I do like the one on the left a little bit more. Wet sock, but not in a bad way. Adam, you're right. I do say that a lot, not in a bad way, because how do I explain it? You get that wet sock, but then behind it, you find the nuances and the sweetness behind it. Like when I say wet sock, I think most of the time I'm talking about like a mustiness, like an attic-y smell, a wet oak, dampness, and for some reason, whatever rolls off my tongue all the time is wet sock. I think I need to change my vocabulary in that a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. You guys, if you're around the channel, you know what I'm talking about when I say wet sock. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that mustiness. It's that cellar kind of smell. It's that attic-y, wet oak. It's good. It's nice. I enjoy it. The wet sock kind of throws you off a little bit. I understand that. Nuances of the feats. Exactly, Salty. The nuances of the feats. Been meaning to do that blind. To me, in Piewee is slightly better version of Booker's. Steve, I say it all the time. It's one of my favorite pours. It's great. I like the one on the right. It's brighter. It's a little bit more inviting. But I do think the one on the left, I kind of have this dialed down. I think I know which is which. The one on the left is darker. I get a little bit of like pine needles lends me towards like a little bit more of like a rye heavy whiskey. I don't know if, Russell's is going to be a little bit higher in rye. This obviously is a rye. Is it the rye? I don't know. I'm going to go for the one on the left. It just sits on my palate, and I find a little bit more enjoyability off of the one on the left compared to the one on the right. So the one on the left is going to be letter A, as you can see there, and that means that the Michters actually beat out the Russell's 13, which was letter B. That's surprising to me. I actually thought, knowing the flavor profiles of both of these, thinking I knew the flavor profiles, thinking that Russell's was going to be a little bit darker, had that, almost minty quality to it, and then I thought this one was going to have that wet sock note to it, but it didn't. I definitely did not know which one is which. I really did think that this one was the Russell's, but the Michters beat it out. That's really interesting to me. This just goes to show a good rye goes a long way, a lot farther than a good bourbon. Great bourbon beats good rye, but good rye beats good bourbon. Did that make sense? Great rye beats good, no, right? Great bourbon beats good rye, but good rye beats good bourbon. That's what I was saying. Damn, I thought that was for sure Russell's. LOL, let's go. Right? I thought it was the Russell's too. I really did. The flavors were, they were somewhat similar. One stuck out a little bit more on that darker aspect, whereas the other one was just a little bit brighter. But hey, it is what it is. In pie with crust. One last pour, just a little celebration pour. Kick in the birthday with one last pour. If you guys have it, go ahead and pour it. It's been an absolute blast of a night. I appreciate every single one of you that came out and watched this thing, because this was an absolute blast. How would you describe CYPB? See, that's the one thing, man. Like, it's good, but I don't think it's like $300-400 good on secondary. Nothing is that good on for secondary markets. The only thing that I think is worth it on secondary markets right now that is a decent price is Stag Junior. Stag Junior is coming in at about like 185 to like, I've seen it as low as 150 for some of the picks, the newer picks, like batches like 23B up to 24A. I've seen for like 150, and I think that is an absolute steal, because some stores are charging $299 to $350 for it. And if you can get it on secondary on Facebook markets for that, I do think it's worth it, because I got my first one for like $225. It was batch 15, and I've been lucky to have one gifted. I got one for MSRP, or two for MSRP. I got two gifted, two for MSRP, and one for $225. Exactly. $65, not bad. I would gladly play 150. Never seen one for less than 300. Patrick, go on Facebook and look up bourbon trading groups and stuff like that. You will 100% find somebody offering a Stag Junior for under $200, and you will come out like a happy camper for sure. I'm so sure of that. Mark, anyone know what happened to Mike? I think Mike possibly fell asleep. I really do think he fell asleep. Salty said, long way from the bar cart. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are. And, this room, unfortunately, come January, February, it's going to be the baby room. So we're going to go back into the kitchen. But we're going to keep this close of a setup that we have right now going forward once we move back out into the kitchen living room area. But, baby's got to have his room. He's got to be able to have his own place and in a bourbon room, not the best option for him. But you know, we're cooking, we're moving on, we're doing what we got to do, and it's gonna be a fun ride. We're in for this. We're in the long haul together. Mark said Mike's going to get some ghetto nachos. He made the whitest white man nachos in the world the other day. That was so funny. Patrick, yeah, definitely take a look. Oh man, Empire with crust is just so good. It's so good on the nose. You can come film in my basement, Mark. I know you want me to come film in your basement so that I can bring all my whiskey there and you can drink it all. I know that's what you're insinuating here. It's unfinished. We can make something work. Oh, I love the nose on this. It's so good. Does that say almost 2 hours? Holy cow! This was a blind. This was a blind and a half. This was a stream and a half. You guys are unreal. You guys are keeping me active and going nuts. Oh man, that was chips and cheese. That's very funny. No, it's not like that. I don't know about that, Mark. I don't know about that. Only bourbon people in Buffalo Bill invites people on the base to the basement. What about SLB, the Basement Bourbon Bar? They invited me down to their basement bourbon bar. Buffalo Bill, he still does videos, right? That is such a good pour. I'm gonna get off in about 10 minutes. If you guys have any questions for me, leave those in the comments in the chat, and I will try my best to answer them to my best ability. It's been an absolute pleasure. For everybody that's not in the Patreon that is still in here, I highly recommend checking it out. It's such a good time. A lot of the guys that are in the chat right now are in the Patreon, and they will attest to the facts that the Patreon's a blast. So if you're not in it, make sure you join up because fun things happen there like you wouldn't believe. It puts the lotion on the skin. What are we talking about? How was your time at SLB? They seem like genuine dudes even though they've blown up quite a bit. Adam, they are as genuine as you could think. As soon as I pulled up to Kurt's place, he invited me right in, showed me around, and you know, I was thinking about Bourbon Bill, Buffalo Bill. Wasn't that a show? I don't even know, honestly. But as soon as I got there, Kurt invited me with open arms. We went right downstairs, had a couple pours, and then we recorded our video. It was a blast just being there. I was there for, 6 hours just drinking, having a blast, just talking. He's talking about his growth, talking about my growth, talking about the whiskey world, what we're in right now, where we think it's going to go and stuff like that. Craft distilleries, big name distilleries, new channels, old channels. Just things, so much was talked about that night, and it was just a great time. And, you know, Trent was there for a little bit, had to get out of there, but, you know, Trent's just as quirky and funny as he is on the videos as he is in person. Like, just a quirky guy, fun guy to be around. Just an awesome time when we were there. And, I mean, I would go back in a heartbeat. My place is always open to them if they ever do another pick out in this area or if they're ever in the area. By all means, it's always open for Kurt and Trent to come over and have a pour and do a video again if they want. But yeah, man, it was a fun time. Yeah, Patrick, the Discord is a hoot. It really is. Steve saying, come on, people, join us, degenerates in the Patreon. He's right. Steve, I remember I talked you into joining the Patreon a couple years. Are you on 2 years now in the Patreon? You got to be close to being in 2 years. And you were hesitant, but you're loving your time. This was fun. This was an absolute blast. I got pretzels. What are your favorite pretzels? Do you like the butter snaps? That's what these are. Butter snaps. I've been thinking about doing some video stuff. How often are you starting the videos over, or are you mostly just pushing through and editing? In the beginning, it would take me about an hour and a half to film a video, right? With messing up words, stumbling over words, messing things up here and there. But over time, it gets easier. The only things that I really edit out in videos when I do the jump cuts are just the time in between sips and nosings. Every so often I'll stumble over my words and I'll have to cut that out and redo what I was saying. But like I just said, most of the time the only thing that I'm cutting out is the long pause in between a sip or a nosing session. David said, all these pretzel rods was a cold gold guy. And then Salty said, Royal Golds, the thin ones, or the sticks, honestly. Now, I need some pub pretzels after a few pours. What I do, the Snyder's honey wheat rods, the ones that are about like 2.5 inches long, and they're twisted, those honey wheat salted pretzel sticks, so good. Well, yeah, Adam, I mean, all you can do is try, right? Just go into it, make a video doing like a blind or a review or a list or something like that. See how it goes. If you feel comfortable on the camera, go for it. Try it out. You know, when I first started this, I came in because I was already doing YouTube before. I had a fishing YouTube channel about 6 years ago, and it was doing pretty well. But I just stopped doing that because I went to college and I didn't have any time to get out there and do fishing. But if I was doing that, I wouldn't be doing this now. So I'm happy doing this now rather than the fishing. But I got to get out there and do some fishing. Now I need some pub pretzels after a few pours. I need to try David Mrs. Salt hits up all these all the time. What is going on? Mark trying to taste other people's fingers. Where is this going? Damn, you guys are making me hungry. Oh, well, I need to go to bed and not snack. Have a salty snack. But you guys are absolutely insane. You guys are great. I think we're going to close this stream out right now. I got to enjoy some of these pretzels. Go watch some football for the second half. Oh. What's the worst bourbon whiskey you've ever had? Easily is going to be... Oh, where's that? The bottle that turned into my infinity bottle, Town Branch. Disgusting juice. This is the only bottle of whiskey that I have ever drain poured. Town Branch. Hands down, worst bottle of bourbon or whiskey I've ever had. Mike's still here? Did Mike just wake up? Exactly, Salty. The only sink pour ever. Mark, exactly. We're saying welcome back to Mike. No, it was a single barrel bourbon that was like 50, 60 bucks that I bought. A store pick. I don't have the label's gone on it, so I don't remember what the proof was of it. But it was awful. Absolutely awful. You had to be a dad for a bit. I get that. Mike, what's your favorite pretzel? I was about to get off, but Mike got back. Salty, you're a moderator too. You got to moderate yourself. Oh, the little pretzel nuggets with the peanut butter inside. Adam's saying the Dots honey mushroom. The Dots cinnamon sugar are really good. I think they're better than the. He said, "My bad." Yeah, John, Dots pretzels for the win. I agree. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end this stream. Just over 2 hours. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love every single one of you. You guys are wonderful, wonderful people. Again, I'm going to leave that link in the chat if you haven't already. Join in on the Patreon. Like I said, 90% of the people that are in this right now are in the Patreon, and we can continue this conversation throughout the night. But, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave that like. Check out the video from today for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Check out the Instagram. Go follow. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, this has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.